Discipline is not just raw, dry logic. That's the result of discipline. Discipline is really the emotion of choosing your higher self every single time. Discipline is how I went from a scrolling, extremely anxious video gamer who was scared to even shake hands with people because I'd ripped my hands out of pure anxiety and overthinking, to the man who has built his dream physique in less than 6 months of training. Bro, I've achieved so much in the physical realm because I became disciplined and I chose that emotion every time, and now my brain is wired for success. Discipline is no joke. You will become the higher version of yourself when you start implementing these things. It's a compounding effect. It turns you charismatic, it turns you magnetic, it makes people compliment you. People will look at you in a different way. You'll have random people staring at you throughout your day. You'll walk around with a different type of aura. Your face will start glowing, but it all comes from feeling the emotion of discipline. Discipline is the emotion that tunes you into your future. Let's think of two timelines. One where you're scrolling and you identify it and you just continue. One where you're scrolling and you identify it and you get up with pure masculine aggression and you drop on the floor and you do some press ups and you break the chain. You collapse the reality in which you are undisciplined. You remove the possibility of failure and the lackluster results that you will obtain in life because you've just put yourself onto the new timeline, which is the one of you being disciplined, which is aligned with your higher self. Bro, your higher self is just your maxed out potential version. So you can imagine yourself in 10 years, the highest version of yourself, the guy who does everything that you say you're going to do, the guy who achieves the goals that you want. Looking down at you right now is that guy. That is your spirit, that is your higher self looking at you thinking, I hope that he stops scrolling and gets up and does the press ups. That's the disciplined version of yourself, and that is what you will do when you feel the emotion of discipline. Just remember, emotion is energy in motion. Where your energy comes from and where it goes is where you will dictate the motion of your life. The direction, the velocity. Velocity is just speed with a direction. What if you go extremely fast in the direction of laziness? You're going to become 35 years old, fat, ugly and a loser. Your kids won't respect you. Your wife will be ugly because she's a reflection of you. You're the leader of your household, aren't you? Well, why are you leading it down a path of destruction? What about putting the energy emotion of pure discipline? Now look, you wake up every single day, 5 a.m, you work on something hard, you take your cold showers, you do your workouts. Now you're 35 with a six-pack, your wife's extremely fit, your children are into fitness. You're the leader of your household, but in a different way now. You're leading them down the path of success, just like you've done for yourself. But you can only get to this point if you start taking action right now. If you are able to identify your weaknesses and turn them into your strengths, you're able to identify the dark energy within you and push that forwards into the momentum that carries you into the light. The pain that you feel within you when you think about doing something disciplined is the fire. But fire can either burn you or forge you. So it burns you when you think about it and you don't do anything, but it forges you from soft steel into rock solid iron when your mind feels the heat, but it walks straight through anyway. You will become hardened, you will become disciplined, and you will become proud. I want you to be proud of yourself, bro. I want you to do things where you believe in yourself. I want you to do the actions where you become the man that believes in himself, where you become the man that you said you would, where you have these massive aspirations but you actually take action towards them. Discipline is like the soul that's within you, the highest version of yourself, remembering exactly what you were meant to be. Discipline is your imagination on steroids, but because you've actually put it into action. The opposite of discipline is excuses. Excuses are all these different emotions just misdirected in different directions, of laziness, of gluttony. Bro, the excuse of not going to the gym because it's cold, the excuse of not getting out of your bed to study because it's warm. Bro, these are all things that are just emotions misdirected. This is the reason why you're failing, is because you make excuses. Discipline is like taking all of that energy of the excuses, feeling the excuse and being like, that's stupid, and then taking action anyway, realizing that it's freezing cold outside, but you have to get to the gym and you have to train because you told yourself you would. Discipline is making the promise and keeping it despite the content of these excuses. Comfort is the cage that keeps you locked in and softens you into clay, which is easily molded, and the outside world can influence you so easily out of doing your goals. That's what comfort does. However, discipline is the fire which forges you into steel and turns your mind into iron. You will become rock solid and you will become the guy that you've always said you would. You will, if you extrapolate the discipline that you implement today into 5 years from now, You are the man that you said you would become. You are that actualized, self-actualized version of you, which your soul has always dreamed of becoming. Your soul is what you came here with, and your soul is what you're going to leave with. But you have to self-actualize, and you have to become the man that you said you would become by being disciplined every single day. Life is not about instant gratification. Life is all about self-mastery. I want to help you reach your goals personally, bro. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone's got different responsibilities. But I know how it is, and I can help you reach your goals. If you just hit the link in the description, we can have a chat one-to-one, and I'll write you a plan. Let's get it done, bro, and let's get disciplined. See you in the next one.